Hello, everyone, and welcome to our, roundtable discussion, on some innovations in healthcare, technology, and a bit more in the practice management space. My name's Andrew. I'm a physio and software engineer at Cliniscribe, and today we have two incredible guests. We have Barry, the CEO from Cliniscribe. You can see on his nice hoodie there. And we also have Darren, the CEO of Nookal. And I guess if you guys haven't heard of Nookal, you guys must be living under a rock or something. I would say in my short clinical experience, I guess more than half of private sort of physio clinics are using Nookal. So I feel very honored to have Darren on today. So I guess I just want to kick it off with some brief introductions from yourselves. Yeah, we'll start off with you, Darren.
So my background is I'm a physiotherapist. I graduated in 1998 from the University of Queensland. I had a couple of clinics over the years of practice, and during that time developed Nookal, or the concept of Nookal, in my clinic. Yeah, I was quite keen on having a system that helped efficiencies and also gave us data that we could make decisions on how to run the practice. I sold the practices 5 years ago now and have been doing this full time for 5 years, which has been great. It's been certainly a challenge for me. So I've gone on and done study in finance and business, and so my background is really health and finance on sort of the business side of it, and my business partner is the technical side. So that's our sort of background, and took us about a long time to get Nookal up and running, but last 5 years have been really good.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see you guys have been up for almost 15 years or so.
Yeah, so we did it we did it a lot. So I tried multiple times with different people to get this concept up and running. It's been a long journey for me, probably 20 years of Nookal. So things take a long time, and that's probably one of the things that I got 4 kids. I teach my kids that, to be patient, especially in society today. It's pretty quick. The last 5 years have been good, and the next 5 years are going to be even better. We've got some really good ideas and concepts that we want to talk about today. I'll talk later on about them, but it's exciting.
Awesome. And that's something I want to dive into later, but I guess I'll pass it over to Barry as well. Do you want to give us a brief intro?
Yeah, so I'm like Darren, but probably in the generation below him, but not in the same generation as Andy here.
Got 3 generations here.
Generation,
yeah.
Z, Y, X.
Yep.
So I've been a physio for 20 years. I was the first digital health advisor at the APA. That's when I met Darren about 7 or 8 years ago. So I sort of was at the start of all this digital, going from paper to notes. So I guess you guys now, Andy, are native to it now. So I run 2 practices in Melbourne. I still run them. During COVID lockdown in Melbourne, there was a famous 11-month extended lockdown. I was actually doing a computer science master's there. And then I dropped out of that and did a boot camp. And then I became a software engineer during that point. And I worked as full-time in software engineering at an ASX listed company for 3 years. And as a result of that, I built up that experience. It was never going to be a long-term thing, but I needed to build that deep experience in building stuff that's scalable and reliable. And as a result of that, like Darren, I solved a problem in my own clinic, and which was report writing at the time. And so we basically became a finalist at the APA Pitch Fest last year as an idea, just to get a bit of PR there. And now we're basically a clinical workflow platform that talks to companies like Nookal as a source of truth, powered by AI, so the latest large language models. And that's gone pretty well now. We've got an undisclosed investment, but I can't say anything at the moment about it. And he knows about it. It's become the real deal now, from an idea, now investment, now being potentially a key player in the ecosystem as an AI player rather than AI scribe, even though that's where we started. So thanks for having me, Andy.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Barry. Sounds like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants here, more than 20 years, 40 years combined here. So I guess for me, even just being a host of this, I'm going to learn a lot in the next few minutes. So passing it over back to you, Darren. So you mentioned you completed your physio degree in 1998, and then you did a bit of extra study in sort of the business and finance sort of realm. But you don't, I guess, have a traditional technical programming sort of background there. So I guess can you elaborate in terms of like that journey and any challenges you face in terms of scaling it to where it is today?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's always challenges. I think, as you said, my background's finance and healthcare. So you've got to know your strengths and know your weaknesses. So for me, that's my strength, business analysis. I like big data analysis. I love spreadsheets. I love trending. I love forecasting. That's what I like. That's my background. And that's what I did a lot of. My business partner, who was my wife, is an accountant, worked for the big tier accounting firm. So I got a lot of contacts there as well. And I think the thing I've learned along the way is to have a good group of trusted advisors around you, like from the bigger accounting firms. I've got a group of guys that I trust. I have a mentor group. There's two of us, so two other CEOs for mining companies and what have you. So I have a mentor group that I meet once a month. And they help me ask questions. It's all about asking questions, right? And then go away and researching and being open to new learnings. That's sort of how I approach everything, It's because the technology landscape is evolving quite rapidly right now.
Yeah. So I guess you mentioned in the next 5 years, there's like a few things on the cards there. Are you able to share with us what you have planned?
Yeah, we've certainly got a significant amount of concepts that we're fleshing out right now that we want to help every aspect of the business. I think there's a lot of improvement and efficiency gains that can be tailored for allied health. So yeah, we're still planning it out. We're still in the planning phase, but yeah, there's certainly a lot of I guess watch this space. So, and it's also for us, I know we're going to talk a little bit later about integrations, but it's also working with integrations. I think that's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, I think leveraging, I guess, that sort of partnership with different companies. I can see you guys have more than, I can't even count, a lot of integrations with Nookal there. So it'll be interesting to dive into that later. And I guess passing it back over to you, Barry, I guess what was your sort of journey in terms of developing Cliniscribe? I know you have that background in computer science as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more about asking questions. I've talked about this before, whether the problem you're solving is it really a problem, and is it really painful for someone to pay for it? There's actually a big difference between the two, as Darren probably know. There's lots of problems we can solve, right, with software, AI, etc. But what is the one that has that sort of paracetamol effect? Does it make sense? Like, so that the user will take the pill and pay for it. That's a different story. I found this just from having 200 beta users that like over 50% of them were super users in my platform when it was free. And then as soon as I stuck a payment gateway into it, it dropped down to like 20% of the whole lot of them. And it's interesting to see that those who are willing to use it for free may not be even willing to pay, $10, $15 per month for it. So what I learned is, I think it's better to really focus on a subset of users that are probably already paying for your software, and then understanding what else they need to that can sort of expand that feature set around that to begin with, at least for a smaller startup, not of the size of Nookal, but I'm sure you guys probably have similar issues.
Same for the concept.
Too.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of feedback that we're getting, like all these brilliant ideas left, right, and center.
We do that at Nookal, just on that point, with Barry's point, Andrew. Like we really, you can't make everyone happy, but we certainly take the feedback of our clinicians every December, have a look at the feedback. I do some modeling. I've created spreadsheets that I model, and I've got formulas over them. So it gives me the top 3 feedbacks I got for that year, and then we go out and get some more information on things like that.
Yeah, so on that topic then, Darren, I guess going a bit off script, are there certain integrations you've probably implemented over the past that like haven't worked out too well, like based off the data and the feedback you've gathered from clinicians?
Yeah, definitely. Like, and that's, we're looking at older integrations, but it's certainly, as the challenges that Barry's talking about, I certainly had them 5 years ago, and that's just normal, part of the course. And the landscape's changed because we're SOC 2 compliant now. So for integrations, we need a compliance checklist. We do a pre-assessment. So there's a lot changing as well for the landscape for us anyway. So yeah, I guess you just evolve as the business evolves, and then some of those early integrations you just revisit and say, look, we're SOC 2, we're HIPAA now, and I can talk about that a little bit later, what pre-assessment checklist we have now, but that's really important, especially in the next 5 years. It's pivotal.
Yeah, sounds like you're always constantly evolving. And I think even at a small sort of company with us, Barry, I can see we initially started off as a scribe, as in we're a Cliniscribe, but now we're sort of shifting more into that, I guess, marketplace in terms of developing tools specific to what clinicians actually need.
Right.
But I guess on that topic, Barry, I guess, do you want to expand on that journey for us at Cliniscribe in terms of, I guess we initially wanted to, I guess, reduce that admin time for clinicians in terms of helping them with their notes, but now we're, I guess, sort of expanding out of that domain, out of their notes.
Well, look, like to be honest, like the lowest hanging fruit for a startup is that scribe.
Yep.
It's not hard to do now with all the technology. So that's where most people start. And note taking itself is a pain in the ass for most physios. For example, note taking, not so much report writing, which is another thing. Because some physios don't do as much report writing. For example, like a very private clinic may use more scribe.
Yep.
They're not writing reports to anyone. But having said that, I'm finding now that like treatment plans as a result of that, it's a big thing that physios don't do. They didn't do in the past, but it does improve patient average spend, retention of the client, and just overall satisfaction, which is understated often in our profession. So there's different ways we can actually create new, I call them workflows or clinical workflows that physios should be reflecting and adding to.
Yep.
Leveraging the technology, which they don't do because they're kind of stuck in their own ways. They were mentored by XYZ.
That's right.
You know, it's like, Darren, and
that's right.
This is the old school way of doing a body chart, on a piece of paper. But I feel there's massive opportunity there to educate physios about how to use things in Nookal to improve their business performance, looking at data science, analytics.
Absolutely. On that point, Barry, that's a really good point. Like the uptake of change for people. And I think we talked a little bit later about what was one of the things about the different generations. It's a 5-year process. I've seen that now. The uptake of certain technologies we had 5 years ago are only just starting to get taken up now in Nookal because of the mindset of all the clinicians. And I think it takes time. Like, in 5 years' time, we're going to look at Cliniscribe and AI technology, and it's going to be commonplace, evolving differently. And I think it takes that time for the uptake. I think as tech owners, we need to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the business owners of these clinics are older generation.
That's right.
But I mean, I think it'll become really imminent that they will have these AI tools and,
absolutely
great software for the next generation. Someone like Andy just coming into our profession.
Right.
They're almost AI ChatGPT native, right?
That's part of their life. It's part of not only their life, but their workflow. That's just how they go. You know what I mean?
I think to comment on that, guys, I think maybe I'm in the middle of that sort of age where I think my generation would go straight to the Google search, whereas maybe a few of my younger sort of peers are going straight to the ChatGPT, whereas you guys probably went straight to the textbooks and your notes and stuff. So it's interesting to see that shift. And I guess from myself to you guys, where do you see the biggest return on investment in terms of implementing AI into clinics and to, I guess, modernize them?
You know how we all have our own stories. So Darren's obviously from the finance reporting, and that's how Nookal's sort of built upon. It's like that DNA, that genetic inheritance.
That's right.
Yeah. For me, it's more about being really resourceful with less admin stuff. So for me, where I see things that can significantly improve now, if physios are open to it, is the AI agents dealing with a lot of their admin, enabling clinics smaller than the traditional 3 full-timers to not have to hire a full-time practice manager. And I will work over the next 3 to 5 years with companies like Nookal to prove that this is possible.
You've hit both my points that I wanted to talk about there on our automated reporting. Like I know Monday morning, automated reporting was something that I could track my practice performance over time. It's automated. I could see this and I could see the trends, download a CSV, put it into my master spreadsheet, put pivot tables, whatever I did over the top of it. And then that was really good. That's number one. Number two is you get a massive ROI. And I'm talking, 20% reduction, 30 minutes, 60 minutes a week if you can improve scheduling in a clinic. So that's things like, allowing the automation of self-booking, and that can free up the time available for not only admin, so they could be doing more reporting, for example. And, if you've got the right admin officer in there, you could train them. They're not having to report because clients are booking in automatically, rebooking online payments, things like that. But allowing that practice manager to do some analysis. Hey, we need to go and form a relationship here, or I can see a gap of occupancy here. I think that's really the future. And you're right, Barry, 3 to 5 years is the time frame for that.
No, it's great to hear that, there's validation here from someone who runs, quite a large, sees a diverse range of workflows. So it's
right.
Commonly in our industry, like you have to have 3 full-timers, right, to get.
And not just our industry, it's across all health professions as well. And I think also different workflows like OC Health, things like that as well.
Yeah. So I'm seeing now the trend where younger physios are, doing more influencer type of stuff like TikTok, Instagram, and they're more than that. They want to go solo. And I think we can be enablers of that to the point where we'll see more kind of that smaller clinics that are sustainable and profitable for them.
Yeah, it is hard to be profitable at that stage due to multiple charges. And so, if they can free up an administrative role or part of an administrative role and use it to generate business, then that's good. That's profitable.
Yep.
Yes. What do you guys look for within the partners to, I guess, ensure there's that sustainable relationship?
For me at Nookal, there's probably 2 or 3 main things. I want them to be innovative, like Barry is. Like I think that's a big part, adding value to our platform and to our customers. Compliance is number 2, ensuring that the compliance is up to scratch with our compliance. That's probably big. And also, finally, our business values. Do they want to see our clients succeed? I guess like Barry and me. I mean, being a physio myself, that's a rare thing to own a tech company. I think a lot of our other competitors, they're not practitioners. They don't get it. So I think that being a practitioner, going through it, understanding it, helps me understand my clients. So I want client success for all my integrations. I really want that. I want quality, and I also want ethical business practices for our integrators.
Yeah. And what about you, Barry?
So yeah, I mean, we look for companies that evolve like quickly. I mean, there's practice management software companies, some of Nookal's alternatives or competitors, that I don't actually see moving the needle. And I think that's concerning in that the amount of feature updates or enhancements within a year I could probably do with my team within a month. And that there's something not quite feeling right about that. Maybe they're just happy with what they're doing, or they're chasing after different deals overseas. But I've noticed with Nookal, they're just constantly innovating. They're actively engaging in social media like LinkedIn about their AI plans and etc. The CEO himself, right, proactively reaches out to people like me, asking, what do you think's going on, different ideas. And I actually, it sounds so common sense that all founders and CEOs and leaders in the company should be doing that.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned there, Barry, in terms of always evolving, and obviously with Nookal now it's being SOC 2 compliant as well, compliant with the GDPR as well. I guess the next question for you, Darren, is what's your best advice in terms of preparing the new sort of graduates for the AI sort of physio world?
For me, I think with the younger generation, my advice to them would be, you're the one with the knowledge, and AI is an adjunct or a tool to help you in clinical practice to make sure that you get the work done more efficiency. But remember, you're the one with the knowledge, not the AI. So don't rely on it. Use it as a tool to adjunct what you're already doing. That would be my biggest advice.
I wish I could clip that and send it to each feedback that we sort of get, because I know for us, Barry, a few of them have, I guess, for the more younger sort of clinicians, they might be concerned that there's a lack of clinical reasoning if like the AI is giving us our notes, our exercises. So I guess, what's your take on that, Barry?
All right. So I'll give a bit of a sneak peek in what we're doing. So I'm using one of the latest reasoning models in the AI space, and it actually reasons better. And I've tested this, right, with a titled specialist physio and a titled sports physio. And the accuracy is probably close to 100% from a clinical decision-making support tool. And some of them just want to turn it off because they're like, Barry, but I enjoy clinical reasoning. I'm talking in the context of our AI intake development. So basically, it's like a multimodal voice, audio, image, video chatbot before that starts collecting information when the patient confirms the appointment to grab all the work cover details, imaging, etc. And then as a result of all that data and taking as much history from the patient, it can actually spit out the 3 most likely diagnoses. It can pre-populate a SOAP note as well. What is likely to be seen here? What is not likely? And I think there's a massive opportunity there, not to replace the physio, but to actually support. Start the brainstorming process with the physio to do research and preparation before the consult. And patients appreciate that. That they will get a better outcome with this, because they would have missed those 3 diagnoses that were listed, and to do these tests that they didn't do because the patient didn't get better. They didn't tell the physio, right? They're not getting better, so went somewhere else.
That is true.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. I think there was a saying going through my head the whole time you were saying that, Barry, was I don't think AI will replace people. It's people with AI will replace people. I think I stole that from somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of nuance to it, and I guess implementing AI is something I'm very excited to do throughout my career. So it looks like we're running a little bit over time, so I think we'll wrap it up. Last question I had for you guys is a bit off topic. So if you guys could bet on one tech company, or I guess an emerging technology, other than your own, of course, what would you guys bet on, and why should we, I guess, keep an eye on it?
I'd just say automation.
What about you, Barry?
I'd say the same. Like, there's a lot of admin companies that will do really well, but something to look out for that people are scared to delve into is this clinical side that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You agree? Yeah.
100%. I
know, that's a bit of a laugh there, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think physios like the idea. But I mean, if it can do, all the systematic review searches much quicker than everyone else, then what are you doing, right? Like, you tell me. But yeah, that's my only thoughts on me. And yeah, we'll be at Adelaide conference. So
as we will be.
All right, awesome. So thank you guys both for such an insightful discussion. I think you guys might be scheming a few things as well, so it'll be exciting to keep an eye out. So I guess before we wrap up, do you guys have any either final thoughts or advice for our audience?
I think that this world, or this space, in the next 5 years is really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, no, thanks for your time, guys.
It's been a pleasure, Darren. As I said, full marks to you from where you guys started from the humble beginnings to now. Fully support you guys, what you do, and looking forward to work more deeply together.
Yeah, thank you.
When we're ready as well.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess on behalf of everyone at Cliniscribe, just want to thank again Barry and Darren for joining us and I guess sharing their expertise. So if any viewers, listeners out there have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via our website or on LinkedIn. We're really friendly, and we're really excited to just, I guess, navigate the journey of AI in, I guess, allied health throughout the next few years. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.